Hello, I'm Josh Sisk, Executive Director at the Potawatomi Zoo, and today we are taking a look at one of my favorite animals, the greater kudu, that come from Africa. And I am joined here with Lauren. Lauren is our keeper for the kudu, and she's done some amazing work with these guys. Lauren, why don't you kind of go through your routine and tell us just a little bit about these guys?
All right, so we have two boys here at the Potawatomi Zoo. This is Brax and Tumaini. If they come a little closer, you can maybe see him a little bit better. But the one up front closest to us with the wider horns is Brax. He is the older brother to Tumaini, our smaller of the two. These are my favorite animals as well. I've been doing a lot of work with these guys, desensitizing them. These boys are full grown at this point, so greater kudu, you can tell a full grown greater kudu by their horns. They have 2.5 twists in their horns once they're full grown. So if you could look at these guys, they're big, beautiful horns that are very recognizable. You'll see those curls in their horns, and that indicates age. Yeah, so being hoof stock, these guys are prey animals, and the way our setup is we're standing above them. So it does make them a little nervous having somebody above them knowing that it could potentially be a predator. Do you want to come inside?
He's thinking about it.
Good boy, Tumaini. So Tumaini's are a little more food motivated of the two. If they are too nervous now, we can walk around to the barn and they'll make their way in and we can meet them inside.
Oh, yeah, we gotta go.
Here we are back in our kudu barn with keeper Lauren and our two kudu.
Oh, there are actually two species of kudu. You've got greater and lesser kudu. These guys are significantly larger than the lesser kudu. Come here, boys. Good boy. So Brax is a very impressive male. I mentioned those horns earlier. You can see with the two of them standing next to each other right now, Brax's horns are actually a little bit larger than Tumaini's. So they both are working on that second half spiral, but Brax's V out a little bit more.
So it's pretty cool that Lauren has set up this training window. We've used some fire hose so she can train the kudu safely.
Target. Good. So male kudu are the only ones that will have the horns and the beard. The female kudu do not have that, although in appearance, the coloration is very similar. Good. So right now I'm doing a targeting session with him. Targeting is a very basic behavior we do with a lot of our animals here at the zoo. So it kind of helps shape behavior so we can get them to come to certain spots. Good. So with these guys, they do step on a scale, so we can actually target them onto that scale. Target. All the way, you're tall enough. Good. And with him standing right here next to me, you can get a pretty good estimate on his size. But for scale setup, I would ask these guys, I would set up a scale kind of right here in the hallway, or right here in the stall, and I would target them to step all 4 feet onto the scale. So we try to get monthly weights on these guys. Good boy. So in addition to targeting, I do a touch behavior with these guys. Touch. Good. So they will let me run my hands over their head, their ears, their neck, sometimes even as low as their chest. So that's a great desensitizing behavior because these guys can be very, very nervous. We like them to be as comfortable around their keepers as possible. It makes it a little bit easier for us to do medical welfare on them. So while you guys watching might notice that they are very comfortable for the most part with me touching them, if another person were to come into the building, they would not be okay with that at all. I've built a lot of trust up with these guys. I've been working with them for about 1.5 years now as their primary keeper. So it's been a long process of getting them to the point where they're comfortable having me this close, having me touch them, especially around their face and their neck. I've been working with Tumaini on injection training. Last week, he successfully allowed me to give him his vaccines. So for my safety, because of these horns, when I do injection training, I always stand with the door here between me and the animal. So I ask him to come close enough, touch, and I would have a needle in my hand right now, and I would be injecting him right in his shoulder. So this one coming over here now, if he'll come all the way over, is Brax, the larger of the two. As I may have mentioned earlier when we were outside, these guys are full-blooded brothers, so they do have the same parents, but they are 1 year apart. So they were both born in August. Brax will be turning 5 this year, and Tumaini will be turning 4. Good boy. Training is very important here.
Yeah, and as you guys have seen over the past few weeks with joining us with these videos, our keepers are so dedicated to their animals and the time that they spend with them. And if they didn't spend that time with them, they wouldn't be able to build this relationship like she has with these guys. All right, again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today here in our Kudu barn with Keeper Lauren and our Kudu. We just really want to, again, tell you how much we appreciate your support that you guys have all shown us throughout this difficult time. And we are really looking forward to getting you all back to the zoo as soon as we can. Thanks for joining us today. Bye.